Welcome to the channel, and I hope you liked the video.
Before we begin, this isn't a sermon, an attack on anyone's faith, or a demand to change what you believe. This is a slow, grounded review of a very strong and confrontational text about Easter, Passover, and Christian history. If you value thoughtful discussion over shock or blind agreement, take a moment to like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes in discernment. Nothing here asks you to abandon faith. Let's slow this down and look at what this document is actually arguing. This review is based on Easter replaced Passover, a polemical document arguing that Christian holy days originated in pagan Roman and Babylonian traditions rather than biblical commandments. This document is intense, absolute, and uncompromising in tone. From the start, it makes a very clear claim, that Christianity as practiced today is not a continuation of biblical faith, but a repackaged version of ancient Babylonian sun worship, and that Easter is the clearest example of this replacement. The author argues that Passover, commanded in the Hebrew scriptures and observed by Jesus and his earliest followers, was deliberately replaced by Easter through Roman political power, pagan syncretism, and the decisions of church councils like Nicaea. Easter, in this framing, is linked to Ishtar, Tammuz, Sol Invictus, fertility rites, and solar worship rather than to the biblical calendar. The document pulls together scripture, church history, quotations from early church figures, Roman imperial decrees, and later Catholic admissions to support this argument. It emphasizes that Easter is not mentioned in the New Testament, that Sunday worship does not originate in Hebrew tradition, and that the biblical Passover follows a fixed calendar rather than lunar calculations tied to the spring equinox. These are serious historical questions, and they deserve careful examination. However, the way this text presents them is not neutral. The language is accusatory, emotionally charged, and often collapses complexity into a single narrative of deception. Christianity is not just criticized, it is declared entirely false, malicious, and spiritually corrupt. There is very little room left for nuance, historical development, or differing interpretations. That's an important thing to notice. There are legitimate points raised here. Scholars broadly agree that early Christianity absorbed elements of Roman culture. The Council of Nicaea did standardize practices. Sunday worship developed over time rather than appearing fully formed in Scripture. And Easter's timing does differ from Passover in meaningful ways. But the document doesn't stop at questioning. It moves into total certainty. Every overlap becomes proof of intent. Every disagreement becomes evidence of corruption. Every alternative interpretation is treated as deception or blindness. When a text leaves no room for doubt, humility, or inquiry, it stops being analysis and becomes ideology. This document reflects deep distrust toward institutional religion, mixed with genuine research and very real frustration. But frustration is steering the conclusions. Instead of inviting readers to investigate history, it tells them what they must conclude. That's a problem, even when some of the questions are valid. History is messy. Religious traditions evolve. Political power influences belief systems. But none of that automatically means everything is a coordinated lie, nor that millions of people are knowingly practicing deception. So what do we take from this? The value of this text is not in accepting every claim. The value is in being reminded to question traditions we inherited without reflection. It's healthy to ask, why do we celebrate what we celebrate? Where did these traditions come from? How did power shape religion? But the solution is discernment, not replacement certainty. Question authority, yes. Study history, absolutely. But beware of narratives that turn complexity into absolute enemies and leave no room for humility. Truth doesn't need shouting. And faith doesn't survive fear. If something is solid, it can handle questions, and it doesn't need to erase everyone else to stand.
Garantangi, till the next video.